Trump needs cheap energy, and a number of factors have aligned to make that possible, including the decline in oil prices and Russia being excluded from Iran, Syria, and the Caucasus. As a result, Russia will never regain the same presence in the global energy market. Taras Zahorodniy, managing partner of the National Anti-Crisis Group, explained this on Espreso TV. The Russian economy is not just in a decline, but is catastrophically sinking. The turning point will be this fall. This is the policy of the new US administration. It's not necessarily what Trump wanted, but he is effectively crippling the Russian economy. Oil prices have fallen precisely because Trump needs cheap energy. The Russians have been knocked out of Iran, and they have nothing to trade on foreign markets. They were also removed from Syria, and now they've been excluded from the Caucasus. This means that Central Asia, which Russia previously blocked from European markets, will now have a much easier time in supplies, Zahorodniy said. According to him, there is a coordinated agreement between the Americans and Europeans on the sale of energy resources in the European market. These factors mean that Russia will never regain a significant presence in Europe, at least not at the volumes it desires. The meeting in Alaska was the last attempt by the Americans to save the Russians, which is something they have been doing for the last 150 years. Putin came, and I think it was no coincidence that Trump flew a B-2 bomber over the Kremlin dictator's head. He was quite frightened at the time. It was also a demonstration of strength, showing that such capabilities exist, Zahorodniy said. Earlier, Ilya Neshadovsky, head of the analytical department of the ANTS network, said that in 2022, the EU, by announcing sanctions against Russia, provoked a sharp increase in energy prices, which allowed Russia to fill its budget and maintain its economy. In 2022, the European Union became the biggest savior of the Russian economy. The EU was very careless in imposing sanctions against Russia. In mid-summer 2022, the EU announced that it would impose sanctions in December. As a result, oil and gas prices skyrocketed to $110 per barrel, the highest figure in history. Russia was thus able to compensate for frozen assets and earned over $270 billion. This was the main lifeline at that moment, allowing Russia to fill its national welfare fund and support the budget. Gazprom transferred 1 trillion rubles every month to support the Russian budget. Neshadovsky explained. The analyst noted that the Russian economy did not collapse purely by chance. They managed to prevent the Russian budget from collapsing. We can also consider the impact of money printing, which was significant in 2022 to 2023. Therefore, we cannot say that Nabiullina, chairman of Russia's central bank, saved the Russian budget. Rather, circumstances aligned in a way that the Russian economy has not yet collapsed, he concluded.
The 47th Brigade, Magura, of Ukrainian army together with the adjacent unit attacked the crossing of the same river in the territory of the Kursk region. As a result, it was destroyed Russian truck Ural 4320 with trailer gun Mstab. During the reconnaissance crossing, the 47th Brigade, Magura, detected the target with the help of the Shark drone, and the friendly unit destroyed it with winged borage ammunition. The event happened near the village of Zveny in Kursk. The bridges across the same were destroyed here during the offensive operation in 2024, and the Russian army uses, as a rule, temporary crossings. The same river flows through Kursk Oblast in southwestern Russia. Russia has reportedly been attempting to build new bridges over the river since Ukraine began targeting the old ones. Recall, the ebb and flow of the battlefield lines have taken on greater political significance in recent days as Ukraine finds itself at another critical diplomatic juncture with US President Donald Trump stepping up his efforts to broker an end to the war. The US leader said he and Russian leader Vladimir Putin had determined there should be no ceasefire and he would now focus on a quick deal to end the war that has raged since 2022. Recall, last year Ukraine has destroyed a 3-bridge over the same river in the Kursk region. For months, Russian forces have also been edging closer to the Ukrainian city of Pokrovsk, gobbling up surrounding villages. Ukrainian defenders have retreated in the face of airstrikes on their positions, followed by round-the-clock infantry assaults. The imminent Russian attack on Pokrovsk complicates Ukraine's attempts to defend its Donbas region, where war has raged since 2014. The Russians are close to capturing a highway that links Pokrovsk to a string of major cities to the north, including the garrison settlements of Kramatorsk and Sloviansk. Ukrainian soldiers fighting in the Kharkiv region expressed skepticism over diplomatic negotiations to end the war in the country after US President Donald Trump failed to secure an agreement from his Russian counterpart to put a stop to the conflict. According to Associated Press, Trump failed to secure an agreement from Vladimir Putin on Friday to end Russia's war in Ukraine, falling short in his most significant move yet to stop the bloodshed, even after rolling out the red carpet for the man who started it. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski said Saturday that he plans to meet Trump in Washington next week. Zelensky said he held a long and substantive conversation with Trump on Saturday after the US leader met Putin in Alaska. He thanked Trump for an invitation to meet in person in Washington on Monday and said they would discuss all of the details regarding ending the killing and the war. It will be Zelensky's first visit to the US since Trump berated him for being disrespectful during an extraordinary Oval Office meeting in February.
Я Нікополь, на прийомі.
Нікополь, що по небу? На них практично ніяк не впливаємо, на ці міжнародні події, і до них ми ставимося, грубо кажучи, як до природних явищ. Вони є і є, з ними жити і працювати. На фронті ситуація у нас, я думаю, всі більше-менше розуміють, бачать зараз відео з фронту достатньо, стабільно складна.
Не було ніякої реальної віри. Якщо б Росія хотіла закінчити цю війну, воно б вже було видно. А це...
Це наша Буcha.
Та сторона розуміє тільки силу. Тільки силу. Ми вже це побачили, і це нікому не треба ще доказувати. Якщо вона бачить, що проти неї сила, тоді вони стають слабішими. А оці всі переговори, які нічим не закінчуються, це показує слабину.
Ми не поступимося і будемо стояти на своєму, що як так віддати свої території. Треба йти до кінця, і так уже багато людей з нашої сторони загинули. Орків ще більше, звісно, щоб не, це, так сказати, щоб їхня жертва була не зазря, то треба йти до кінця.
Виверка вроді.